Oh, I'm the only one here. I can't believe it. I'm still gonna do the workout. I understand that a lot of you are already at work. I just, on a Monday morning, can't do any earlier than this, sorry. So I'm still gonna do the workout and cue and kind of go over some stuff as we're going. Please do your best to, when you do this workout, to follow along, to listen to my cues. This is all about learning, right? I want you to learn as much as you possibly can. We've got quite a few new people, and some of the new people who have joined have trained with us in the past, so that's pretty cool. Like to see new faces or old faces come back. Okay, so we are going to warm you up. This is your deload week, so please take the workouts down like 1,000%. Okay, even if you feel good and you're like your body is still craving it, please dial it back as much as you can this week, because once we start again in this summer next week, I want us to then pick up some more intensities with drop sets, negative work, that sort of thing. So take your loads down, take the intensity down. These workouts, because they're full body, a lot of you will respond and still feel the workouts the next day. That's totally good. That's great. Okay, so let's quickly warm you up. I think I will do just a regular warm up. There is a warm up in schedule, as you know. You can always just do your own workout, right? Or your own, not your own workout, your own warm up. Okay, so let's do some high knees. Let's get this all set up so you can actually see me. Okay, all right. This is very strange. It's just me. Okay, so here we go. High knees. So like I said, you can do whatever warm up you like. Listen to your body as long as you're warm before you start anything. Nice and easy. Gonna get a good way to start the week. Nice workout. Focusing on a little bit of the lower body and arms. Okay, so honestly, the workouts will be broken up appropriately all week. Just get them in the right order. You don't have to do them on the exact days, as you know. You do them, you don't want to start today, you start today's workout tomorrow, that's fine. Just do them in the right order. You know, high knees, get your knees as high as you can. I always train in my bare feet. Okay. More natural, it's safer. You'll get more power through the soles of your feet. A lot of power and strength comes from that area. So if you're wearing like a running shoe, you're doing all this business, when you're trying to squat and deadlifts, your load will be way less. So if you're in a gym, you can't train in your bare feet, then make sure you're training with a proper shoe for lifting, especially lower body days or deadlift days. Little kick. And then double time. We obviously can pass through this warm up. We'll try to just keep things as quick as possible. I want these workouts to be quick, so you still do them. So this big space, walk out, legs are straight, baby push up, keep those eyes up, and then come back. Do your best to keep your legs straight. Okay, baby push up. Drop to your knees to modify. I'm going to do 2 more of these. And then 1 more. Then once I'm in this plank, I'm going to keep elbows nice and soft, head back, pass your hands, mountain. Don't do this. Unless, of course, you need to modify. Nice strong plank. Don't lock your joints. Pick up your pace for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then come back up. Starting to feel warm. Okay, Osani's joining, love it. Open up those hips. Breathe. Hi, honey, just you and I right now. And then switch. She's like, oh shit. And then switch, open up those hips. I believe Sonia is in Toronto. So she's been up for quite a few hours. So thank you so much for joining us in the middle of your day. Switch. Breathe. And then I'm going to get the cardio going again. Legs are straight, the best you can. Torso is straight. Okay. You might be a little faster than me. Okay, listen to your body. This one can be a little suspect to me, like you can see Sonia can keep right. It's like the other ones. Wow. Okay, so go for it. You can do that. Now pick up all the sisters that are here. Mandy's joining, love it. Okay, Hello Pigs. Mandy, who's in Europe. Hi, honey, good morning. These girls get to connect, say hi to each other. They don't live in the same area. Now let's pick up your pace. We'll go for 10 as fast as you can. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Amazing, Sonia. Those kicks are impressive. Wow. Okay. So if you're warm, great. If you're not, keep going. We're going to start, and I really specifically wanted to do this workout because I kind of switch things up a little bit. I'm going to use this floor is super, super slippery. So if I use my plates, I feel like it would be dangerous. So I'm going to use, to elevate my heels, I'm going to use these little baby dumbbells. Okay, you don't have to use it. For my first round, I'm going to just do a warm-up set. Remember, we're deloading this week. 4 sets of 15, 18, 12, 20, and 20. So we're going to up the intensity with reps. And then we're going to superset that with a lunge bicep curl. So 15 of these, nice and easy. Let's just look at the numbers here. So you'll see the 3 numbers, 2, 1, 1. Those new people, that first number is the going down for 2. This is the middle number. And then the last number is the pop up. Typically, eccentrically, letting go, we just go down slow. We don't want to be plunking, dropping, be quick, right? So here we go. Take your time, Sonia. You join in when you're ready. Same with you, Betty. So here we go. Pack. So just a little bit wide. Toes are out just a little. Kind of like this. We're not sumoing today. Okay, whatever's comfortable, really. I like to keep my hands up here because it keeps my body nice and straight as well. I will do a set for the side of my body show so you can see how straight my back is. Because remember, shoulders and hips come up at the exact same time. Okay, no pausing at the top. So we're nice and smooth today. So even 15 of these is going to be work. Back is straight, hips and shoulders come up together. Don't let your bum come up first. No butt winking, right? So this is focused a little more on the quad with that heel being elevated. If you don't have a way to elevate your heels, just do this. Okay? Especially summertime, we get very nervous about where we're traveling, having company. Just do what you can do. And if you have to take a couple of days off.
Hey, Tish.
Yes.
Are we lifting heavy weights, or this is kind of like lighter days?
This is light.
Okay, awesome, perfect.
Yeah, nice and easy today.
Okay,
So,
cool. I'm gonna mute myself.
exactly. Take this week down 1,000%. Okay, so I'm going to do 3 more. 2, I'm already getting this one going. And 1. So you can see that these girls have been doing this for a while. Okay, they're actually a pretty cool story. Sisters that live in different countries. And they're getting so strong. You see where they started. What keeps everyone motivated, right? We go back to where we started. Keep going, ladies. I'm just gonna get my setup going. Some of you, or most of you may not have those things. It's totally okay. You can use a step. You can be creative. You don't have to use anything, right? You can just pretend. So we're pretending to look. My foot's here. You're still using your legs. Okay, that it's supposed to. Creates core. Creates a little more work in the joints and knees. Right? It's those little muscles in here working. So we're gonna do 5 per leg with the bicep curls, ladies. Okay. You can also make this easier by going in the middle. Okay, establish balance, then back down, bicep curl. So 5 per leg. I want you to go right over top. Okay, you can see the difference of what we do and use because we're all in different situations. 3. Good. 4, so I've got 5s in my hand, super easy. I will go up, but I'm just testing out how my body's feeling. No rest, transition right in the other leg. This is going to be not pretty. I can tell right away. Okay. I like the Bosu because it forces my knees to be uncomfortable to work a little bit. Now, if this is too much for your joints, your body will tell you. Okay. My knee's talking to me, saying, stop a little. I'm paying attention to that. Okay, but I'm still only in step 1. Okay, there it is. My arms didn't really get crowded. That's okay. We've got some other bicep movements coming at me at weight. Next round. Give yourself 30 seconds. We're doing 18 reps. Okay? So the reps are going up instead of down, which means the weight isn't going to be going up too high today. When we see the reps go down, that means the weight is typically going up. The last 2 have to be a challenge, not today, normally, okay? So I'm gonna grab a 10, pushing myself a little bit, okay? I'm gonna do these this way so you can actually see how straight my back is and what I typically will see people do, especially dancers. They love to get like this, not strippers, dancers. Like to, I don't know what that is, they all do the same thing. Okay, so here we go. Down for 2, pause for 1, come up. Down for 2, pause for 1, come up. Look at my back. Right, none of this. No arching, back is straight. Okay, 18 of these. Down slow, and then just pop up a little bit quicker. Good job. 6, 7. Beautiful. 8, so it's upper body too, because I'm having you hold something here, right? Up here, so your body is certainly engaged, full body today. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Hey Tish, I want to be selfish and ask you questions. Sometimes when I'm holding a weight,
Yes.
and it would be heavier than usual than this,
Yes.
I kind of arch my upper back. I can even hold a heavier weight for you to see. Is that not arch, but like I'm not perfectly straight on my back? Is that okay?
Well,
I'll hold a heavier weight.
yeah, let me see, and then I'll let you know. Because I don't typically like.
What's this thing? Okay, so this is heavier.
Yes.
You see how my
You're
upper
fine.
back?
You're fine.
Yeah, cool.
Do a few reps. Do a few. Oh yeah, you're fine. You're not.
Cool.
You look good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's very little. You look great. The yoga instructors, right? They're very particular, but no, you look great. There's no buckling happening. Right, you're not doing any of this business. But you know, you look great.
Cool. Thank you.
away. 5 more, good. 4, nice. 3, good. 2, and 1. If you are wanting to go fast, and the ladies, I'm not talking to you two, but the other ladies who are joining later, you're going too fast. Okay? It's awfully painful watching people take the work that your efforts and then rushing through it and dropping into those squats. You're really basically wasting your time. I'm gonna be completely honest. Okay, so let's do the other arm. What we're doing, I'm gonna start with my leg that was not as good. I'm gonna start with my right leg today, and sometimes my left leg's not as good. Today, my right leg. We're gonna do triceps this time, okay? So harder because you're a little hyper leverage point. This is part of it. Okay, so again, you can do little steps in the middle. Once you're down, you're extending. I really want to see a nice flow. You're not rushing anything ever. I know we see a number and we want to just get it done. Okay. If that's the case, take the number out and then just do them. That's fine until you're fatigued. I promise you, if you do that, you will slow the fuck down. Because you know, the slower, the more effective the rep, the quicker you're going to get to that feeling of discomfort. So let's take the number out. This is good. I'm getting a sweat one. I needed this. One more, just for good luck. And extend. Okay, we did it. Now we're going back to that. So just as a reminder for the people who have been doing my workouts, we do usually 3 rounds. At the end of the workout, we're doing 2. First set is a warm up. Second set, your body and your muscles are adapting. Third round is the one that is typically making the adjustments, i.e., things are happening. Muscles are going through thresholds. Not so much today, but starting next week. That's why we do that. We'll switch it up lots this week. Some will not be this long. Okay, so we're back to 20 reps now. So I find that the 10 pounds is good for baking today. It was a typical strength rate, and I was feeling great. I would probably have, maybe have 35 in my hands and then drop set if everything was starting to look bad. Here we go. Keeping a nice flow for workouts. So if the dumbbell is starting to drop here, lighten the weight or get it back to where it's supposed to get to. Okay, this means you're leaning forward. This keeps you where you need to be. Nice straight back. I'm not locking my knees at the top. This block gives the muscle a rest, head per bed. Good job, ladies, you look great. Did I start recording this? I sure hope so. Yeah. Otherwise, probably 12. I'm going to force myself to do 7 more. So no negatives this week. Okay. No drop setting this week. If you have to drop set because the weight is too challenging, then of course drop set. But I will not be specific this week on doing that. I really want you to take this week. I know you're feeling right now that pushing you, but this workout winds down quickly. 2. And 1. Okay. So now we're back to biceps. I think I'm gonna grab 10s because now that I'm warm, my knee is like saying, okay, go for it, Tish. So I'm gonna take advantage of that. I'm going onto the left leg. It doesn't really matter. Okay, I'm staying there. Here we go. Biceps. Slow and controlled. 2. 3. Focus on your biceps, don't get lazy. 4. 5. Finish that rep, last rep accordingly. The last rep is the one making the magic happen. We'll be thorough with that those movements. Go right over top. Right over top. Yep. 2. 3. 4. Sweaty. 5. Woo. I'm breaking my rules, by the way. I know I always say don't wear sweats. Wear something that shows yourself. I'm breaking my own rules today. Sorry. I thought by acknowledging it, you give me a free pass. Okay. Good cardio. Okay, we've got one more round. Set of 20 again. Sorry, reps of 20 again. Same tempo. Okay, let me just, as we're letting that heart rate recover. So the tempo for the Bosu or the lunges is about 2, 2, 2. I'm just really wanting you to stay slow. Okay. I will do a nugget this week too. Okay. I know I missed yesterday. I will promise you I got one, a good one this week. So I'll be posting that probably tomorrow. Okay, here we go. Last round. I'm gonna start before we want to. Okay, we'll be very specific on rest intervals next week. This week, listen to what your body is telling you. If you need to take 5 minutes in between sets, do it. Because that will change next week. Nice smooth movements. I do like a small little pause at the bottom, but nothing at the top. Okay, so lightweight, you should need to. You look great, ladies. Not counting, but I'm feeling this. So now these last 5 are going to be uncomfortable. 5. Don't let me hold you back. If you need more, do more. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Oh my gosh. Feels so good to be able to move my body the way I want it to. Hallelujah. I've got 12 in my hand. Okay, to finish this last round. Okay, 5 leg is pretty easy. Oh. Remember, try this leg. It's best to start out with the leg and just not paying attention this morning. Here we go. 5. Those elbows nice and tight. Harder set. Plus we're getting tired. 3. Sorry, that was 2. This is 3. And 1. Beautiful. Feel those legs. Don't worry, we'll get those arms again later. 5. 4. 3. Now the triceps are kicking in. Good stuff. The last 2. 4. Oh, it's hard not to get lazy, hey? That last rep, you just want to get it over with. It's easy to just drop out of it. Okay, good job. Walk it out. Grab a sip. Next superset. So A's, A1, A2 superset, turn into down B's. So cleans with elbow push-ups. God. Programming this, I'm going, this is gonna be hard. But I really wanted to be here today to make sure we knew what to expect for this week. Good for me. Really good for me. Okay, so clean. We're doing a dead with a push press. So I just demo a little bit without the weight, even though the video is pretty good. Okay, it's funny. In some of these older videos of mine, I'm like, oh, you know, change, right? So this one's pretty good. It's an older video. You're going to basically go down into a dead. The weight's not going to be that heavy, though, right? So we're not really going to be needing too much work with the leg. Now, this is a real strength training. We're needing to use the legs to get this up. Then, of course, we would have to talk a little bit more about that. But this is really just to keep the upper body going, cardio going, get some work done in that lower back and glute. So, dead, everything is nice and straight. Shoulders, knees, toes, all in the same plane. Scoot your butt back. Bend the knees, and then power it up. 5 per arm. I'm going to start with 15 because I do think if you go too light, you risk losing this dumbbell, right? Because you've got so much force coming through those legs that if there's no weight in your hand, you could literally have that dumbbell fly in your hand. So let's start with the right arm. This is your start, okay? And then you're starting here. And then push. I know you can't see me here. 5 per leg. Sorry, 5 per arm. So here to start. Elbow leads. 5. We don't start again until you're here. 4. I'm paying attention. Yeah, good. Beautiful. 3. Excellent. 2. Nice. Get that elbow nice and high, Maddie. Yes. See how much easier that looked? It sure looked easier. That's it. Just switch arms now. Nothing too crazy today. So this is a little, my shoulder's a little wonky. So I'm just paying attention to it. 3. Excellent. 2. Oh, I just almost went down there. Okay. And 1. So the temptation will be as this arm goes down, you start heading down. This is your start every time. I even will find myself, doing that incorrectly. So we're doing 3 to 5 leading per arm. I'm going to grab my mat. My goal is to have every single dumbbell out. Okay. If not, I should put them away. Okay, so we're gonna do, these are hard, okay? This is definitely not easy. So I'm gonna do 5 like this, or 3 to 5 like this, and 3 to 5 like this. And I'm gonna do them on my knees, obviously. And then I'm gonna see if I can get down together and then come up together. So I can do that. I wouldn't be able to do it if I was on my toes. But this is an option, right? You can come down and then you can push one at a time. Just come up and squeeze each time, okay? So we're gonna do 3 to 5 with this arm in front, 3 to 5 this arm in front. And the motion is down for 2, pausing for 1, coming up for 1. If you can, okay? If it's hard, you may have to go push, which is totally fine. I want you to do the squeeze at the top, right? Exception to the soft elbow rule, triceps. We need to go up and squeeze. Okay, so keep everything nice and strong. Don't look over once you got the movement. Keep everything straight. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm going to switch. Hard. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Those are hard. Yeah.
Hey, Tish,
Let me see.
I got a question.
Okay, yes, honey.
Yeah, so I don't have the greatest elbows, like they pinch easily. So like, would I, if we're modified, I was thinking against the wall, or is that too easy?
What do you want to do for a modification?
It's just like doing the press.
Oh.
Like
That's
it's just that
brilliant. I didn't even think about that. It may feel too easy. Are you okay? What about just this?
I can do that. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
do that.
doing this part. Okay,
Yes.
I can do that.
Yeah, I understand my elbows are a little cranky too, so I totally understand what you're saying. So that's a good question. Her elbows don't like this movement. And this will be very normal. So instead of doing something that's uncomfortable, she thought about maybe doing them against the wall, okay? Which is a great option, right? Like this. But she's strong. I've been training her for a long time. So I know for her, that probably wouldn't challenge her enough. But for many of you, that will be a good modification. For Sonia, I told her just to do a regular tricep push-up. So you have to listen to your body. Those are perfect, Sonia. This is awkward for many of us, okay? Great question. Okay. So that is it. Okay, we're gonna repeat that superset 2 more times. So the 15 felt pretty easy. And I'm watching these girls. This is what happens when we get in a group. I'm watching them lift some significant weight, I can tell, just by the way they're how aggressive they're being, right? So it kind of inspires me to want to push a little bit more. I'm going to start with the same arm, okay? Same arm. So right arm I'm going to start, you can switch to left arm if you wish. But in this case, it's probably best that we keep with this right arm first. So here we go. 20 pounds, just so you have something to compare. It will not be that hard. 5. Beautiful. Good. 4. Excellent. Slowly down. 3. If you need to control it down, yes. Good for safety. 2. Great for the abs. Okay. 1 more. Keep your core strong, right? You don't want to be none of this business. And by doing that, this engages. Okay, so those abs are working every single time you perform a movement properly. But the key word is properly. Okay, you have to be aware of your form in order to get the core moving with you. And in this case, you know your lower back should not merge. Feels so good to be, I mean, I'm still not 100%. Wow, what a difference. What months? Okay, I'm gonna come down here just so you can see a little bit better. Okay, now I'm gonna try just for shits and giggles. We're not taking very long rests. It's just what if I can do one on my toes. Okay. mat isn't big enough. No. So I can't do it on my toes, both coming up at once. So because I don't want to push that heavy today, I'm doing the modification. I'm counting that one too. 3, 2, keep those eyes up, don't tuck your chin in. Switch. Good job, ladies. I love it. So hard. Love it. Good job, Maddie. 2 and 1. If we have a sculpted tricep, we're never going to have the flimsies. It is really what makes the arm look sculpted. People think biceps, it's actually this. Composes most of your arm too, obviously. 3 triceps. Okay, so here we go. Last round, sweating. I'm glad I'm not the only one. We're doing again? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the deads. Done. I'm still gonna go up. My cool down will be to put those dumbbells away. So I'm going up to 25. Okay, feels good. Just loosen my lower back a little. And here we go. Last round. 5. Excellent job. 3. Excellent. 2. Yes. Nice, ladies. And 1. It's hard when you are with a group to dial it back. Really hard. Especially when I'm in the company of these 2 little ladies. 4. 3. Definitely this side is weaker. 2. And I'm fatigued. And then down slow. Okay, a little sloppy there. Okay, here we go. Last round of these triceps. Whatever you can do is suitable for how your body is speaking to you today. Other arm in front this time. If you can remember, don't stress. Totally fine. Basically, you'll put the other arm that you don't want to. So you'll typically want to put one arm in front, the other one that you don't want to, and then you know you're doing it. There's always one side that you favor. Okay, here we go. 4. 3. So you know, look at my neck. Don't do this. 2. 1. Feels easy. Hold on, this is 4. 3. 2. Hard. 1. Squeeze at the top. The last one, really squeeze hard. Yes, look at those beautiful triceps poking out of you, ladies. Nice, Sonia. Well done. Now I feel my upper body. Okay, this is the whole idea of these full body workouts, is you challenge a certain part of your body, and then we're allowing it to deload, focusing on more of the upper body stuff. Okay, last superset. I know this seems confusing, but I always want to make sure that there's options. So we're just going to do a 1 leg bounce on your BOSU, the biceps. If you don't want to lift a leg because you're not ready for that, don't. And if you don't have a ball that's safe, okay? Not everyone has an ABS ball. You should make sure that your ball is ABS. We're all little people, but just in case someone big decided to use your ball and it wasn't anti-burst, well, you can imagine what could happen. So 10 of those. If you don't have a ball, you can use a bench, okay? Chances are you have a ball over a bench, but there's your options. And then we're gonna superset that with TRX bicep curls. The tempo is down for 2, hold for 1, pause up. And then that's only 5 per leg. And then we have options if you don't have a suspension trainer. So we've got that. I'm going to do, again, this floor is super sketch. So let's go. I don't hurt myself here. We're only doing 10. So I'm going to grab 12 to start. Okay. So their triceps are on fire. I can really feel those. I'll put the triceps in those cleans. A little bit of shoulder in those cleans. Okay, so you're gonna walk out, cut on the ball, and then just lower. So let me see if I can adjust my laptop so you can see it better. This form on this one is key. Now, Mandy's showing her option on the ball, or sorry, on the bench. Awesome. Elbows are back, right? So we're wanting to make sure that the fulcrum is behind our body. Okay, I'm changing where the fulcrum is, so you're hitting different heads of the bicep. So look at where Maddie's and Sonia's elbows are. If you were to stand, the elbows would be here. So that is the difference of why we're on the incline. Okay, you're walking out lower, and then if we're on the ball, and we feel okay, we can lift the leg. If you're not ready, keep both feet down. Keep this bum close to the floor. Okay, don't let it come up. You gotta be on that incline. And then we're just doing 10 of these. Yeah. Good. Yeah, make sure that you're staying in the workload. Meaning don't come up too high. Okay, so there's no tension up here. Okay, this is the only thing about dumbbells is if you lose tension with dumbbells through a certain range of motion. The bands don't do that. That's why I like them so much. And you feel actually more tension at that movement. A little hard to do this with bands. So I'm gonna do 3 more. My neck is a bit sore. It's because all of it's attached, right? My neck is working here. But I also know that that's going to go away as soon as I'm finished. Just like those bicep uncomfortable feeling. Then make sure you finish the last one. And then get out of this safely. Be careful. The safer way to do that actually is to roll back up like that. Okay. Do you have a question, honey?
No, I'm good. I didn't want to interrupt you, so I was looking at these 3 as the option.
To me.
So I just used the fit ball.
This is for you, not for me.
Okay, so I don't have a TRX. I'm at the condo gym, so I just do the fit ball and do this one, right? 10 times.
Do you have is there a bench?
There is a bench, like that one right there, a regular bench, yeah.
You can use a fit ball, but if you prefer, a bench might be more comfortable. Let me show you.
Okay. Oh, okay.
But
Let me.
The fulcrum's in the same spot, right? So you pick whatever you prefer, and then the suspension trainer people, we're not doing the squat, or you can do the squat if you want. Okay, you want to add more lower body in. Adding the squat will make this a little easier. Okay, so remember, the closer you are to your anchor, the harder it is. If it's too hard to get step away from your anchor, elbows are up high. Fulcrum is now in a different position. Therefore, you're getting a different head. Normally you can do rounds with ladies. Keep that in mind. Okay? Just 2 rounds. So that will mentally get you pushing harder. Okay? It's all the mind game. How we get through these workouts. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release it slowly. Yes, beautiful. Okay, so if you haven't been training with me, or you haven't been listening to me while you've been training with me, and you do this, the last one, and then just do this, you are literally losing the most important part of that set. That last rep is the magical rep. And so you saw Mandy, right? The very, like, she's been training me for years, right? So she knows that that last rep is the one that's going to make the biggest changes. You're uncomfortable, so you want to push through. Yes, good, Sonia. Yeah, it's a little light for you, but that's okay. Full range of motion. Yeah. The benches maybe goes a little lower. Little lower. Yeah, there, that's better. Hopefully your chest is, yeah. Does that feel better? Good, awesome. Okay, so now we're gonna take 30 seconds. If you're ready, go for it. Don't let me hold you back. And then,
Hey Tish,
yeah, honey.
is summer gonna be equipment friendly? Because I think everybody's revenge traveling at the moment, right? Like, is it gonna be easier with equipment? Because I'm gonna bring my TRX and my bands with handles on them. But like, I overpack. I'm always nervous about this. Right?
Yeah, I know. I actually love that all of you gets quite unstressed about traveling. It's very, very cute because it means that you're really dedicated to not missing these workouts. I'm going to be very mindful of what I'm programming, especially in the summer. So if you have the discipline to pack a couple hand bands and suspension trainer, you're going to be able to get through these workouts. But I have also had a few clients, believe it or not, say this is the one time in the whole year they have access to a gym. So I'm going to make sure that I offer both at the same time still. It probably won't feel that much different, but I promise you what I'll do is I'll always keep in mind the people who are traveling a ton. And also don't be afraid to jump on the Facebook page and to be like, hey, I'm taking a week off. That is also a really good reminder that I really need to be particular on those certain weeks. But it probably will be the exact same thing. If you have a suspension trainer, you're going to be totally fine. And a couple hand, but don't pack too much.
Hand weights?
No, sorry. Hand bands.
Okay, cool. With the
ones
handles.
that have the hands like for bicep curls.
Cool.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay.
And don't
Perfect.
stress, we'll be fine. You're in good hands. Okay, so now
I'm gonna mute you.
go around to this and then we're done. So this workout certainly took a little while longer. Okay. Some of the strength workouts will be 30 minutes of speed. This one will be a long one. Okay. I'm gonna lift my feet for this last rep. The floor is just so incredibly slippery. It just makes me very nervous. I think I'm just gonna keep with 12 since we're here. So walk out. And obviously, I did show you the option. Lower. Okay. If I know people are making the effort to pack workout work stuff when they're traveling, you bet you, sweet Biffy, I will make sure that you can do the workouts. And then, if you don't have the exact setup, if you slow things down, you know that is going to create intensity. Now, by lifting a leg, I feel major work in my quads. Major work in my quads. And that's because they're pre-fatigued from what we did at the beginning of this workout. So we are reinforcing some lower body work here to my neck. I know I hear ya, but it goes away the instant we're done. Makes us top, right? You have a bad neck in general, then you're gonna probably use a bench, right? Low. So the numbers for these are down for 2. Pause for 1, come up for 1. Just make sure you're always staying in the workload. Okay, I'll explain a little. I'll actually probably talk about that during the nugget too. Okay, this is our finish. I'm gonna add a little squat, just to get my legs going again. You don't have to do this. 2. So the number is 1, release for 2 count. Just do it slow. Don't worry too much about those numbers, especially this week, because we're not doing any negatives, right? So as long as you're controlling your letting go phase, this one, you will get stronger. And if you're getting stronger, we all know what happens. Your muscles are growing. You can't get stronger without bigger muscles. Don't worry, we're not going to be Hulk Hogan here, okay? This is crazy to me. I did train someone face to face a few weeks ago, just because she's here, and I thought, why not? And the first thing she said to me was, I don't want to get too muscular. Oh my God. We seriously still talking about that? 30 years of training, squatting heavier than I ever have, not now, but you know, shoulder presses 35. I don't really think my biceps look, or sorry, my shoulders look too big, right? Does it look like I work out? Yeah. But don't you want that if you put the effort in? I'd say. Lunatics. Train, eat, to have a body that will perform for you. Not so you're cute little in your little presses. No, not that. If that's your goal, don't train with me. Okay. Do we have any other questions? Looks like Manny might be pausing on me. We're good? Sweaty, hey? Love it.
Thanks,
Don't you
Tish.
feel so-
Actually,
Don't you feel so great?
I feel like my biceps are on fire right now.
Yes, love it. Same.
Yeah.
Right?
Actually, Tish, I got a story to tell you.
Okay, what's the story?
Since actually, sorry, one's phone, but anyways, what happened was I just came back from a weekend with girls, and actually I was gonna write this on Facebook, but I procrastinated. Basically, I had a comment about like looking fit, strong, and food. And when I went to eat with all the girls, it was a buffet thing. A lot of people were commenting that I ate a lot. They didn't think I would eat a lot. And I said, well, food is life, man. Why wouldn't I? And I looked around and then it hit me that like people's proportions, it wasn't just proportions, it was also like the density of the food. And so I told the girls that like, no, I eat a lot, but if you look for what I'm eating, and I was very careful with my words because I don't want to, obviously hurt anyone's feelings, but I was like, I kept flagging down the waiter to get more meat with my fiber and and the carbs. I'll go and be honest. This one time I ate lighter on the carbs only because it didn't look worth it. It looked like a bloating dish to eat on the side. I was like, I'm not gonna touch that. But I told them like, if you look at my food, it's super colorful and it's packed with like greens and carbs and meat. And I told them like, if you look around, not our table, everyone else's table, it's like everyone else, it's like more on the veggie carbs than the meat, And so I told them like, yeah, even when you go grocery shopping, if my cart usually looks more colorful than other people. And this is just me, but I get really happy when mine looks way more
I love
colorful cart
that.
than theirs. Yeah.
It's one of the biggest compliments to have someone say, wow, I didn't think you would be able to eat that much food, because what they're saying is you're very petite, physically fit, and they couldn't I get that all the time. Where do you put all the food? It's a huge compliment, right? But if you understand the importance of meal portions and the quality of food that you're putting in your body, it isn't about taking food away. It's about adding food to your plate. And that was the biggest kind of message that
I just heard you say to your friends. And I mean, they probably obviously are looking up to you because they're probably not spending as much time dedicating they're not spending as much time with keeping their bodies strong, etc. So they're probably really looking up to you for feedback, for information, for learning. And how awesome is it that they're open to learning? And it is quite eye-opening when you do go out for dinner, especially a buffet style, and see what people, I mean, people are out. I want people to think that this could be a meal that's higher calories, maybe not proportioned properly. But it is an eye-opening experience to see what the majority of people, if you're in a little fitness bubble, like we all are, and we follow the people that we are inspired by, etc., then we get the importance of the proteins and the colorful foods and the fiber. But this is our bubble, right? Then there's the rest of the people outside the bubble that just literally, they have no clue. So it seems so obvious for us, right? Because this is what we follow. This is the people that we're, spending our time with. This is our mindset. But, to walk and step outside and to see that, wow, like people are still thinking weight training is going to make you big and bulky. It's crazy to me, but we're going to keep sharing our information. We're going to continue to inspire and motivate people who we spend time with. And this movement will just keep getting bigger and bigger. And thanks to social media, it has gotten bigger and bigger. We have to make sure that we're following the right people to have a healthy approach, because there's always the ones that are going to take you down scary paths. But I love that story. Good for you. That's awesome. Both of you are doing fantastic. I thought maybe I'd be doing this workout by myself. And I tell you, it wouldn't have been as hard had I been by myself. So thank you for showing up. And I'll be doing, as I did last session, more lives just to keep connected. I know a lot of you use the recording for when you can. I can tell Mandy wants to say something.
Oh, no. I'm good. Maybe I should share this. I don't know if I should share this.
Sure.
I went to do a physical, by the way. I always do a physical in June. And I just wanted to tell people, I need to get this out there. I don't know, similar to my sister's story, maybe. I don't know if any other women had this. I went to my physical, and it's nice because I always tell them never to tell me my weight. I still don't know exactly what my weight is. I just go by my driver license. That was like 10 years ago at least. Anyway, my BMI was, so it flagged me a little. It's like my BMI is slightly higher. And I was wearing I was wearing like a skirt and a blouse, whatever. So they can't really, like, it was loosey-goosey a little. It's very humid right now. So they didn't, but she immediately said, weird. I shouldn't have brought that up, but you do look small, but your BMI is slightly higher. Felt a little fat shamed, but I was like, so I stood up. I was like, are you sure? And I had really heavy sandals. So I'm like, it might be the sandals. Anyway, it doesn't matter. When I stood up, she was like, oh, never mind. You're fine. And do you lift weight? I'm like, yes, I do. Yes. Yes, I do. So I felt better.
Yeah.
I hate the BMI stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, I thought I'd share it. So
Yeah.
I'm getting heavier, but my clothes tell me it. But like not by a lot. Like I'm not like losing everything. Because if I did, I know myself. That means I'm really stressed and I lost my period. Right? So I'm like slowly, but so slowly. But I'm not mad about that too. I'm not trying to go.
No. If you were strength training, your weight can go up, especially when you're lean like you are and have no body fat to lose. If people in general start strength training, but they have body fat to lose, obviously that number is going to continue to go down. But if someone like you is at a steady pace where your fat is where it needs to be, you're lean, but you are adding dense muscle, right? Like a pound of fat versus a pound of muscle looks completely different on the body and on a scale, then it will be completely normal for your BMI to go up. Now, BMI is a bunch of bullshit anyways, right? Like, I mean,
I know.
Yeah, it doesn't,
we don't
we don't look at, many people would never even look at BMI because it's just way too general, but I will tell you this, I'm the exact same when I go to at my check-in and they do the scale. I say, don't tell me the number. I literally look like a crazy person because I just don't want to know the number because
Yeah, I know. I'm like, don't show me.
because we're heavier than most people, right? We will be heavier
I
than
think so.
we will be, trust me. When you have more muscle, if you're a size 4 or a size 6 or a size 8, which are all very small, petite bodies, but you strength train, you are going to be much heavier than someone who does not at the same size, right? It's just that, but this is a good thing. This is a positive thing. So
No, and she said that too, and I was like, yes, I hate that BMI. But she's like, no, it's great. Your weight, it's great. Everything is great. I shouldn't even. I don't know if she said I shouldn't, but anyway, it was fine. But when I heard that, I'm like, I should share that. It's a bit odd. It's, as a woman, it's odd because you're like hearing yourself, you're gaining like weight, but you're getting leaner.
yeah,
So it is weird, but I thought I'd share that because I'm sure I'm not the only one.
muscle is
And I drank a lot of water because that's what we do, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like,
if
okay.
you're drinking a ton of water, you're gonna
Yeah.
Your sister's getting a kick out of you, which we all do, by the way. 100%, all of that. The number on the scale really doesn't mean anything. You're absolutely right. If your clothes are fitting or if they're feeling more comfortable on you, you're doing the right things. We're never going to put that much muscle on that our arms are going to not fit on our clothes. It's never going to happen. So if you're finding that your clothes are feeling snug, that's not muscle. That's because you're probably eating too much food. We can talk about that more later on if you want, but the scale is not telling us a single thing. Which is what you all know. I mean, when I stand on the scale for the client, for the nurse who's taking the weight, I know she's writing, she doesn't say anything, but she's writing my weight down and I can tell by her expression, she's like, how is that possible? And then when they take,
I know.
and you roll up your sleeve, they're like, oh, well, no wonder you're so heavy. You're muscle, you know?
It's such a good feeling.
If I'm walking around like a normal person with my sleeves on and my pants on, I just look like a normal person. I don't walk around like I'm like she, you know? But we do when we show our arms and we wear short shorts, we have a physique that shows that we've been committing to something that's building our body. It's very easy to be small. I mean, easy is a relative word because you can just watch your calories, but to have a physique that you're proud of, that you can say that you have built and you have the shoulders to show it, that takes some time. And both of you know it. You've been embracing this process for a really long time now. And the problem is we as women, we don't embrace the process long enough to reap the rewards of having that stronger, toneder looking physique that we're all wanting so badly. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens quicker, but for someone like the three of us, we have very similar body types. It takes a really long time. So embrace and be so happy that the scale at your body frame is going up because that means you are doing all the right things. So these are all good things. I know you have the right mindset about it, but it's good that you share these stories because there's so many women that would still be like devastated about that number. It would ruin their day. So thank you. It's a really good thing to share. And I will make sure
Could
that
I add one thing?
yeah, of course.
Sorry. It actually relates to what you guys talking about scale. So this happened maybe half a year ago. My doctor accidentally told me my weight. So I actually know what my weight is. And it was trippy because my heaviest, it was always kind of like average, like skinny fat, average, whatever. But I found out when they told me my weight, finally, I was like, oh, I'm actually maybe a pound or so, almost the same. I'm the exact same weight number as I was before I start lifting weights. But it's just because, but I know I lost the body fat now, it's just muscle. And so it literally was so trippy to hear that because it's like perspective, like what you imagine that number to be, it's completely in that moment, it was useless to know because it's like I actually feel better, not even look, but actually feel better in my clothing. Exactly what you guys are saying. But if I look at the number only, I would be tripped out thinking there was never any progress. But
Yeah.
in fact, when I lift my carry-on luggage at the girls' trip, I had my first strong lift. I didn't get skinny. I didn't get like tiny or anything like that. Actually, you're strong. And I'm like, yeah, yeah.
Oh, that is the best. That is the best. I know it's nice. You're like, oh, you're so tiny. But when someone says, wow, you're strong, that is next level compliment. You know, you're like,
Yeah.
that's so great. Ladies, just remember that number also, by the way, fluctuates a lot, right? So you might be the same weight that you were 3, 4, 5 years ago. It could very well be, but it also could be we don't really know how much we weigh, right? Like we really don't, because if you're holding water, if you've had a saltier meal, all those things will come into play, and that will change how, like I tell that story about how I was 10 pounds lighter at night and I was 10 pounds heavier at night when I was competing, because I had to make weight at night. 10-pound difference eating chicken and carrots, that's all, right? So it might be the truth, right? But honestly, at the end of the day, that's why we don't care about that number, because it means nothing, right? Our clothes fit, our bodies are feeling comfortable. We're more comfortable in our own skin when we put our shorter shorts on. And that's what's important. And that takes time. So, well done.
I have a question for you, Tish.
Yeah.
I forgot. Okay, I'm fangirling too much. I wanted to end. I was like, oh, I need to go, but I gotta ask you this. Okay, okay. This is a weird question, but I'm happy I'm not gonna write it on Facebook because I have to like everything and I don't want to like remember. Okay, so when you do competitions, aka when you do progress photos, what the heck do you need to do to look good in the morning? Because I'm like drinking a lot of water. That's what I often do. And it's hot where I live. So I'm like, okay, you're drinking a lot of water. Wake up, I'm like, oh God, I'm gonna walk a little first. What do you do when you start? I think you did competition. What do you do to look lean for competitions?
Oh,
I'm not saying I'm gonna go for competitions. I'm just saying a progress photo or something like that.
well, lighting.
There's days when I'm like, I'm gonna do a progress photo, and I'm like, never mind.
Yeah, lighting, first of all, is everything, right? A tanned looking body will always look more defined, like way better. So a darker skin, like that's why you.
Yes, the exfoliation.
Yeah, and that's why they put like the dark tanning on you. You always look better. Like when I do my shoots, I'm always spray tan, full to the max. Typically people look the leanest in the morning because they haven't, their bodies have had 8 to 10 hours of digestion and we're dehydrated. Typically in the morning when you're dehydrated, you actually will, I used to, like back in the day when I go to Vegas, I was like the next day of a night out in Vegas, you look ripped because you've been having too many drinks and not enough water. So you look actually like really, it's not healthy. But anyways, you typically will look better in the mornings because if you're especially in heat where you live, you're holding water, you're going to swell up. Like I even here, I can look at my leg and I can see just that I'm holding water. So if I were to stand on the scale, I can only imagine what that number would be. So, the biggest thing is lighting is really important. Like, you have to, like, I've got a window right here. So it's like the night, it's a beautiful light. If the light was behind me, it would show no definition. Make sure that the camera angle, if you were to do it, is a little lower coming up to the angle of you, right? So don't have the camera, like if the camera was here, it would be fine. But if you lower the camera and have it angled up a little, you'll look better.
Okay, so down and up.
Yeah, down a little
Yeah.
bit, up. But like the best way to take progress pictures this is what I do, and I've showed this on the Instagram, is you just put your phone behind a window, right? Like here's the window right here. So I put it right here. It's a little bit lower than what my body is. And then I would literally just do a video. And I would just stand here. And then I would stand here. And then I would do one just unflex, and then I do a flex. Then you hold them. And then you pause the video and you screenshot. And that's what gives you, in my opinion.
Okay,
Yeah, that to me, and do it in the morning, like after you've had your pee, you know, you're going to look the best because we haven't eaten, we haven't rehydrated. And that's the best. Did I answer? Is that what you were wondering? Is that your question?
Yeah, I want to know how people do it all the time because I'm not talented at taking photos.
Yeah, like
So
honestly,
I
the
have
lighting
to
is a big thing. The light is huge. Like you like even different times of the day when I'm in here and I'm doing videos, the way the sun is hitting this room, completely different. It's crazy. I know it sounds, but I mean, this is what I've been doing for my whole life, so I know. But yeah, dark, nice tan skin, you know, make sure that you have like a nice flattering waistline. You don't want anything, like we all carry a little extra fat from here. This is normal. So if you have pants that are a little higher to cover that, you know, all of these,
Yeah, fair enough.
you know, just suck it up a little, like you guys don't, but as you get older, you carry a little bit more here. This just happens, you know. So just wear a higher, like a Lululemon pants. Everyone looks good in those because they're a little higher waisted, you know. But yeah, but yeah, you two are.
Thought I asked because I'm like, so thanks for answering that because
No,
I will tan. I will tan and exfoliate. I never. I'm like, I will do it. I will take a progress photo. And the only time I wanted to, the other time, and I was like ready. It's like cloudy. I'm like, why is it cloudy where I live? The only time I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah,
so
honestly,
yeah, I will take a photo.
yeah.
Would a ring light work?
Which?
A ring light. I heard about that from my
Yeah.
girlfriend. So like, get a ring light, girls. I'm like, a ring light. Oh. Oh, okay, cool.
Yes, but I don't actually use it. I use the window, I use the lighting. Like this is like if you're honestly, like I would love to see a before and after, especially with YouTube, because it's been quite a few years now. I would love to see like, because I just remember both of you being quite little. And now you're little with a little bit of some toneness to you. And I would love to see and you know, whatever angle, whatever lighting you have, you're going to notice the improvements. But you know, no pressure. I mean, I have some clients that
I'll do it. I'll do it. It's just
Okay.
last question. I
Yeah.
promise. Do you ever do competitions right before a period?
Well, unfortunately, you can't, that's a very valuable thing, right? Like when I do a shoot, I actually plan my shoot after my, like, I know my cycle. Now it's getting more crazy because I'm getting older, so it's not as consistent. But up until the last year, I would get a period every 28 days. So I would book my shoot 4 or 5 days after I was on my last day of my period, because that's when I'm going to feel and look the best, right? Right after your period. Sometimes I couldn't do that. I remember one time I did a shoot and I was, you know, 2 or 3 days before my period, holding water. I just said to the photographer, my period's coming. And she's like, fuck, you know, they get it. And I'm like, I know. But, and in a competition, you can't control the date. So, but when a competition, like you're so dehydrated, you're so depleted, like you've gone 3 days without water, it won't matter. Like you haven't had a period. If you, like, I didn't have my period after 1 month of dieting for a competition. So I went 4 months not having a period. So that's extreme. And you probably don't even have a period because you're just so depleted. Not healthy, not healthy. But good I did it, because now I can help teach and educate other people and make sure they are aware of all the things that are unhealthy about that type of lifestyle. I mean, I have some 40-year-old friends here that are doing competitions for the first time, and I just think, really? Like you look so fit, you look so strong. Why would you risk losing your health over seeing you a little bit lighter? I don't get that. It's like midlife crisis, maybe they're not getting enough attention, or I don't know. It's not healthy. Most of the clients that I train who have competed have major issues, major body image issues. It's not good, because when you're used to seeing your body a certain way, you can't maintain that.
it messes with you, you know, it's just not healthy. So, and it was hard for me too. I did 2, I did 3. But the first one, it took me a year to recover mentally, physically. It was awful. I'm glad I did it because it was a great way for me to educate people and say, like, is this really something you want to do? You know, because every time you do something drastic and you have to achieve something that's unattainable, you're really, your body is going, okay, I give you a chance to get healthy. Don't do this again, you know, and it will be forgiving, but the more you do it, the more it's going to be like, no, I'm actually not going to let you do it this time. And in fact, I'm going to slow your body right down, and then I'm going to like hold some fat onto you because you're not treating me properly, you know? And you keep doing those things and your body just keeps responding in a negative way. So it's not good. It's a great achievement for people to do, both mentally and physically, but it's just not healthy, especially when we get into our 40s.
Cool, I wasn't planning, I just wanted to know how to do a good progress vote.
I know that that's not in your thing, but I'm taking advantage of this opportunity to share because there'll be women that
Cool.
listen to this, and you know, taking advantage of just bringing that up is important.
Thanks, I'm sure everybody would appreciate hearing behind the scenes. I'm sure a lot of people appreciate that actually, because I think I'm a lot better now just because I kind of get what it takes to be healthy. But I think I probably would have appreciated that even more. Anyway, thank you for sharing. The only thing I would say is, are there going to be more cardio nuggets? Because for God's sake, I do not anticipate cardio nuggets.
Do you like them or
I
no?
was in my bed. I was like, I love nuggets because I get to watch it and be like, yeah, okay, that's cool. Hoping a recipe, and then it was cardio. I'm like, are you kidding me? So anyway, that's my only comment. And
Yeah, I love the feedback. Don't be shy to honestly, ladies, these things are for you. So if you're liking more and less of stuff, please don't be shy. Let me know what you're loving, because they're for you, right? So they're just stuff. I'm just doing what I think is valuable, but if you're preferring more of something, please don't be shy. Let me know. I love the feedback.
cool. Or just a warning, be like, don't be in your bed and press complete, you know? Because I was just writing, it's like, yes, complete. And I was like, cardio for 20 minutes. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, no, I will.
That's my only thing. That's my only comment. I'm like, the whole time, it's like, great cardio. I'm like,
Okay, note taken. I love it. I'm gonna dial back the add-ons for summer too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just for people to feel less stressed, because I know that those are optional, but I know that people still feel badly about not doing them. So I'm gonna take a lot of that out in the summer, just because it's so good if we can just get 3 in this week, you know, with all the travel and people visiting and all that. And then in the fall, maybe we'll add more of that stuff too. But this is the whole idea of why we do, you know, break it up into different phases. If you hate, like I had people last tell me they hated the way I programmed, but stuck with it, did it. And I said, thank you for your opinions. I said, the only reason why I have to be sometimes a little more creative is because I've trained some people for the same people over and over for the years. I'm trying to throw new stuff at them. This person's new, so this stuff's a little hard for them. And I said, keep that in mind. So if you don't like it, you know, the next session you'll probably like more. So she's like, okay, good. So she stuck with it. She did the best she can. So now I'm gonna, you know, give some of these newer people a chance to, you know, feel like they're a little less pushed, you know. But it's a balance, you know, it's a real balance between new people and the people that are been here the longest. And I need to keep, you know, like rotational things and different things like that. Some of the new people are just like, just let me do a bicep curl, you know. But so that's why there's a lot of thought and a lot of effort programming, because there's so many different people. But for the summer session, I'm going to dial it way back.
Okay, I know I can't do, like, summer, this will be the first summer that I would say I probably will have to do not a half-ass, I'm just not a half-ass, but I'll probably be my half-ass job, you know? I'll do my half-ass, because it's
Yeah.
impossible, it would be impossible.
Yeah.
And visiting family and all that jazz, yeah. I'm not gonna ask any more questions, I know I have one in my head. But I'm gonna let you go, I'll
Whatever
probably have it on Facebook or something.
Sure, whatever. Ask me. I want you to, Facebook is great because you always do have such great questions that so many women want to know about. So please ask me whatever you want. Don't be shy, because that's what the community is there for. Honestly, like, without the dialogue going on that page, we would not be as strong. We wouldn't be working this hard. So please don't be shy. Both of you have great ways of allowing or sharing and allowing the women to feel comfortable on that page, because it's really hard for people to be open and vulnerable on that page. So I appreciate, all of that.
It's hard for me too. It's certainly hard for me too.
I know.
I
But you're such a great writer, and you have so much you have a great sense of humor. It's awesome, both of you, when you
okay, I'm gonna ask it. I don't like Facebook. I really don't. I like everybody, because I felt like that's a nice thing to do, and I really like to encourage others, so I feel encouraged too. But I'm gonna ask this. This is not good. Okay, we live in a bubble. I know I live in a bubble. I'm okay with my bubble. My bubble is sealed tight. But sometimes you have to let people in. And I'm gonna probably be visiting people that the first thing I'm gonna say, I just know it. I just know this is gonna be an issue as my parents. And there's no way I'm gonna recommend your program to someone who doesn't move, right? But they're gonna say this to me, and I'm sure your clients have this problem. Oh, they're gonna have parents or loved ones who say they're gonna move, but they're not gonna, But you wanna give them, like, you want to refer them to something that they can do, Is there, for seniors, I can't believe I'm saying the word seniors, but it is. But is there a program you would recommend for people who are outside the bubble? Look, it must be a hard thing to have loved ones like that. I cannot be the only client like this. But
No.
Is there any recommendations that you would have? What do you do?
Well, that's such a great question. I was actually at my parents' house yesterday. They're older than yours. They're in their mid-70s. And, my dad was bragging to me about how many sit-ups he could do. And I said, but can you get off the ground? Like, can you do a sit-up and actually get off the ground, like that, like a normal person? He's like, no. And I said, well, that's what's important. I said, it doesn't matter how big your biceps are, how strong your biceps are, if you can't get yourself off the floor. And both my parents looked at me I said, as soon as you no longer can get off the floor, you've lost your independence. We need to figure this out. So I don't know what level your parents are at, but my advice to them, obviously, my program is still for a generation of, or the age bracket of not the 60, 70-year-old. I mean, there's still some 60 and 70-year-olds that are doing the program, but they're in the bubble.
But they've done.
I can't hear you.
But it's obvious that they kept it up for a long time. But that whoever joins your program, no matter what the age is, they have some kind, they understand movement a lot more than the average person.
What I would recommend is what I recommended to my parents. When you have to use your body physically, getting off the toilet, getting off the sofa, getting out of bed, getting off the ground from stretching, instead of doing it once, you do those things 5 to 10 times a day. So after you finish going to the washroom, instead of just coming up off the toilet, you go back on the toilet and you come back off the toilet 10 more times, right? My parents both stretch because I've told them they need to. So instead of, on the floor after their stretch, getting up like the way they do, right? This is how they get off the ground. They do that 10 times. And even though it looks ridiculous, if
So it's
they,
brilliant, actually.
if they do that 10 times a day, every single day, eventually they won't look like that, even at their age. So they're like, okay, I can do that. So I
Because
think,
they can do that. It's scalable to them.
yes, and that's what I recommend. It's like, all you need to do is say, and you know, movement, you know, don't sit all day, walk, right? My mom, there's no way my mom and dad can get 5,000 steps in. So I say, let's get 5, like my mom goes for a 1.5 mile walk when she's on a holiday and she can't move for 3 days, you know? So gradual progression. I don't think like following something, to be honest, probably the best thing would be that for them to hire someone face to face and someone with some knowledge, right? Some experience with training the elderly. I trained 70 and 80-year-olds for 10 years of my career. I'm going to be sharing more of that later, but you know, the face to face is important for them because they've got more aches and pains, right? They're like, you watch people when they get older, like, and I noticed it even Neil getting out of bed, right? There's just more aches and pains. And you're like, holy shit, you know, going downstairs after sitting for 3 hours. I'm walking down the stairs like I look 80. I mean, that's just my body's wear and tear telling me I need to get off from sitting. And so we need to probably find a professional that can give them 3 or 4 sessions, maybe more, and just give them, you know, a really good thought out plan, very simple, very basic, that they do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then maybe they go see that trainer every month or every other month just to get but I think like online for someone that's outside of a bubble and just hasn't really been connected to their body for that long, it might not be enough guidance, you know, like
I think your tip of, actually, that's gold. What your tip of getting up, try to get up 5 to 10 times, you said 5 to 10 times, or like from the toilet, that's brilliant because that's something they would do. They don't have to dedicate too much time. And that's enough. If I just say that, I'm done, you know?
dad, because he has bands, right? And he does this and he does this. I'm like, stop.
Yeah,
No.
I know. And that, yeah.
And then he flexes his bicep. I'm like, that's not going to give you the independent life, the fulfilling life that you're looking for. You need to be able to use your body through function. And I watch them, you know, I'm like, it's about muscle memory. So if you do repetitive movements day in and day out, your body will eventually become stronger, even at their age. So they were both like, oh wow, okay, yeah, I can do this, because they're
and they're encouraged, which is great.
And I think, you know, you don't want to scare them, but you know, they see their parents or their friends going to homes, and I'm like, that's gonna be you if you don't get your shit together. You're not coming to
Yeah.
So get your shit together. Like, stop sitting on your little tub chairs and move. Like, you know, yesterday instead of sitting, I stand. I want to sit and work. But standing, I just know is better for my body. I said, do more of that. You know, you've got to, like, that stuff, those little things are so impactful. Everyone thinks there's this big, huge mountain they have to climb. You don't have to climb a big mountain. There's little things you can do, but you have to be consistent, right? You don't do the toilet 10 times and then don't do it for another week. It has to be every single day, you know?
But I like that. I like what you said. The getting up the toilet, just that alone, that's brilliant. That's something that they feel encouraged because I'm getting to see family again. I'm like, you know, I just want to, I know I already playing it out my head, but your suggestion was perfect.
Awesome. Yeah, simple, manageable, free. That's all you have to do, honestly, at that age. Just keep them mobile, keep them moving, keep the muscle memory there. And, you know, flexibility, stretches. Like, I know for my parents, without their stretching on a regular basis, their muscles just, it's hard, you know, and at 49, almost 49, I'm realizing the importance of keeping those muscles at your, you know, like you've always known that being a yoga instructor. So, you know, teaching them better yoga movements, those sorts of things. You don't need to be fancy. You really don't. You just need the
Yeah, I
discipline.
like your suggestion of getting off the toilet. That's probably just, that's brilliant. I don't know why I'm just caught up on that one. But
Oh.
I just know that they don't have to dedicate time to do it. And they go to the washroom. So it's awesome.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%.
And then I'll just say it and leave it. Leave it in the ethos and see
Yeah.
where that goes.
Yeah, exactly. Keep living your best life. Keep showing up for yourself, because that is contagious to the people who care about you. And they will go, wow, I am so inspired by how happy she is, how motivated she is, how great she looks. And when you are doing that, the people around you will want to do that too. You just, that's, I've learned that if I lower my expectation and stop lecturing and just focus on me and being the best version of me, my whole family, you know, my dad's still showing me the bicep curls. That's him saying, look, and I'm trying, you're inspiring me, I'm trying. And I'm like, I just need to re-educate him on what's really important when you get to a certain age, you know? So just continue to push yourself, and the people who care about you will see how incredible you're doing, and they will also be inspired to do the same.
I agree. You don't have to say too much. I just wanted something to refer, like you want to check that channel or something, but getting up the toilet, brilliant, brilliant.
Yeah.
Thanks
Good.
for that, by the way. I probably could have written that out so people could see it, but thank you for that.
My pleasure. No, I'm happy to have the talk. It's super fun. A lot of women will probably enjoy this chat too. It's like our own little podcast we just did.
I know, it's practically a podcast. Thanks for everything.
My pleasure. My pleasure. It was so great to see you, Sonia. Thank you for showing me your beautiful city. I'm like, wow.
Whoa. I'm walking in the shade.
Oh, it's beautiful. Toronto, right?
Yeah, I'm hiding from the sun. So I don't have my hat.
Nice. Well, enjoy the rest of your walk. Thank you so much for sharing all of the stuff today, and we will see you soon.
See ya.
See you. Bye.
Bye.